Hey peeps, it's super late and I'm super tired. I studied all day as you do, and I also had a migraine. This is what the glasses are here for, to ease my pain. Anyways, it's a really busy time of year for everybody that's going to university and whatever degree you're studying. In my case, it's medicine. And I wanted to say a few things about relationships. So here goes. What I want to say is that generally in life, you're going to meet so many types of people, but in the order of friendships and like toxic people you're going to meet, you're going to see that the people that are toxic and are not really your friends, they're going to come up with like a bazillion fucking excuses to act like assholes. And basically, what they're saying when they're giving you excuses about their assholish behavior is that they're saying, like, oh, you have to accept my behavior because I'm going to guilt you into accepting that. And again, I'm not saying everybody should be perfect all the time. Of course not. Nobody is perfect. But then again, I think relationships should be a common effort for a common good and a mutual understanding and a mutual will to understand each other and consider each other. So when that's like one-sided, or when that's like taking advantage of somebody's understanding of you, you shouldn't accept that. No offense, but there's supposed to be a limit. And even if you can't, like, again, people are going through a lot of stuff, that's understandable, but there should be like this thing where you can come up to your friend and be like, hey, this behavior is like not okay with me, and you should be able to work out a compromise. And it's not like, oh, take me as is, and if you don't like this, it means that you don't understand me or you hate me. That's not how it goes at all. Again, we're supposed to have mutual respect and understanding, and you're supposed to have like red lines and unacceptable behaviors and not acceptable ways to behave or speak to your friends and family or whatever relationships. I think, generally speaking, in this time of culture or whatever, that we normalized so much, how can I say it, like selfishness, that is just like, it's fucked up. Like, relationships are not supposed to be selfish. Of course, you should be taking care of yourself, and of course, you have to be careful with your mental health and your stress levels and everything. But you're not supposed to be selfish to people you care about. And sort of like having that excuse of, oh, I'm putting myself first. You should, but there's supposed to be a limit for that. So, with all due respect to anybody, I don't know. The world has so much drama right now. So many things are going on. So many things like that are so beyond us and so above like our personal life. And that like stupid games and stupid dramas between people that are supposed to care for each other and understand each other and have each other's back is just, for me, is like a hell no. So just a few things to sum this up. Please be careful who you let in. Please be careful how many second chances you give people, because a lot of people are going to take advantage of that. Do understand that people have to take care of themselves, and you do take care of yourself, but don't be selfish. Try to understand that relationships are supposed to be mutual understandings and compromise. Yeah, like, that's the whole point. They're supposed to be mutual. And also, like, don't count how many things you've done for somebody or how many things they're doing for you. I'm just saying, in the bottom line, it's supposed to be mutual. So do not accept unreasonable drama or people that just like don't give a shit about how you feel, don't care to understand or compromise. Because honestly, I think everybody's going through it, and it's better to keep around you people that care for you, that you care for them, and you have a mutual goal of a mutual good. Because Another thing that's really important, in my opinion, is for you to be able to be honest with each other. I think it's like one of the most basic aspects of a relationship for you to be able to speak honestly and not feel like you're walking on eggshells when you're talking to somebody that's close to you. Again, doesn't matter what type of relationship. Also, do understand that everybody's human and, as I said, going through it. So just cut people some slack, of course, but do have your boundaries. Set to yourself what your relationships, any type of relationships, I'm talking about any type of relationships right now, set your boundaries. Do understand that you do have to cut people some slack, like petty little things. Don't, like, fuck that. It's not worth the drama. It's not worth the time. But do understand that that has limits, of course. And also understand for you, because so many like interpersonal relationships are built on ground morals. So like, for example, if I think that loyalty is extremely important to me in relationships, then I can't be friends with somebody that disregards that. Or for example, if it's important for me, because I do have very long-term relationships, it's very important for me somebody that sees like people as something that's, you know, not interchangeable, like fucking socks or some shit. That do understand that people that see people like that are really just not for you. And I'm not judging, people have different preferences, but do understand that you, to a degree, supposed to have the same kind of moral ground and moral code with people that you're close with. That's very important, because if you're friends with somebody that does not have that in common with you, it's probably like, it's probably going to have a lot of issues. And again, I'm not saying like you have to think the same way. You don't have to have the same preferences in whatever the fucking life, but you are supposed to have like common ways and morals, grounds, like common grounds with people that you're interacting with closely. So I think that's a lot of times the trouble. That's something that you do have to think about. At least for me, it took me quite a while to understand that not everybody sees like really basic things the same, which is, I mean, my bad, I guess. I don't know. It depends, I guess, on your background, your education, where you're coming from, cultural things. It depends on a lot of things. But you do have to consider that when you're interacting with, well, not when you're interacting with people generally, but when you're close friends with somebody and when you're trying to think about like long-term interactions with people. Another very important thing, pay attention who's happy for you when you're doing great, who's there for you when you're doing amazing, and who's there for you when you're like in fucking hell. Because generally I assumed that if somebody like loves me and cares for me, again, in whatever relationships, of course they're going to be happy for me when I'm doing great. No. Okay, so like again, that was like a big thing that I understood, that people that are supposed to be like friends with you a lot of times are not going to be happy for you when you're doing good. So that's a really huge red flag. Pay attention to that. When you see that, just like that's sus as hell. People should be rooting for you and have your best interest at heart, and you should have that best interest at heart for your close people. That's kind of all I wanted to say in these times of hardship in the world. I hope everybody is doing okay, and take care of yourself, take care of your loved ones, and try to be kind, try to be understanding of each other, but do know how to set limits. And I just wish the best for everybody. Stay safe, stay safe-minded and sound-minded. And for me, have a good night. And for whoever has nighttime now, have a good night.